وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون بالبينات والزبر وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم ولعلهم يتفكرون.
Is it permissible to believe in chi, energy? Is it permissible to use energy to see how much medicine an individual needs, dosages?
Is it permissible to believe in chi? First and foremost is define chi. What's meant by chi? Do you mean something that goes against the text of the Kitab and the Sunnah? Something that pertains to polytheistic beliefs, beliefs of idolatry, beliefs of shirk and kufr, the use of spirits and things like this, the souls of the ancestors, something pertaining to sihr and sorcery? That's one thing. Obviously, that's rejected. To believe in it, to use it, and to practice it, and to benefit from it, clearly. As far as if you mean by the word, quote-unquote, chi, something that Allah Azza wa Jalla has naturally placed inside of the human being's body, power, energy, stamina, something that can't necessarily be explained, or in which there's difference on how to actually tangibly explain it, and it's something that is natural, and it's clearly tangibly proven, then that's a different story. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows what He placed inside of this human being's body. The mind, the heart, the nervous system, the skin, the fingernails, the toenails. Only Allah knows. What the people have discovered, what they've conjured together, the theories, that doesn't mean that they've realized everything. It doesn't mean that they have encompassed everything. Allah, Rabbul Alameen, He, Al-Khalaqul Alim, created the human being. So let's just stop and ask a theoretical question. Do you think that it's possible for a human being to encompass everything that Allah placed inside of the human being? A theoretical question. Allah, Alamul Ghuyub, Ahsanul Khaliqeen. Allah tells us they can never encompass His ilm. وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِهِ عِلْمًا لَا تُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارُ وَهُوَ يُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارُ وَاللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Ayah after ayah after ayah, Allah praises Himself and lauds Himself way beyond anything else or anyone else. So is the creation of man from Allah's khalq? Is the creation of Allah from Allah's ilm? Is the creation of Allah from Badi'us Samawati wal Ard? He who made the heavens and the earth without any precedent. وَإِذَا أَرَادَ, and when Allah wants something, قَضَى أَمْرًا, He only says, kun fayakun, be, and there it is. So can a physician, a surgeon, can someone who deals with the mind, with the heart, can they totally encompass Allah's ilm and what He placed inside of a human being? I'll let you answer the question to that. So that's my opinion on chi. What's meant by chi? Natural energy inside of the body. And just because you don't understand it, or the Western scientists and Western physicians and people of these different fields of expertise, just because they don't agree with it, or they don't acknowledge it, or they haven't classified it yet, or they don't accept it in their school, in their way of thinking, it does not mean that it doesn't exist. And it does not mean that it's haram and that it's sihr, as many people think. When they see something, when they hear something, they automatically say, sihr, sihr, sihr. It's sihr, that's sihr. Don't you know, some years ago, the telephone was considered sihr. As they say, the famous story in Saudi Arabia, when the first telephone wires and poles were placed, they said that some of the shuyukh there sent people to go and recite the Quran on the telephone poles and the telephone wires. They sent people to give ruqya on it because they considered it what? Shayateen and demons. How can you be in one place? Hello? Yeah. And the person is another side and they hear your voice. How's this? Except for what? Sihr. Do people say that telephones are sihr? Look at the telephones now. Internet. You use a WhatsApp. You record a voice message. In a split second, the voice message is what? Thousands of miles. Just as you recorded it. Do you understand how that works? Are you a sound engineer? Do you understand the ins and outs, the scientific depths of how the sound travels, bounces off a satellite, etc.? Do you understand that? No, you don't. But you believe in it and you don't call it what? Sihr. So perhaps, and Allah knows best, there are things, ancient things, that people, Allah allowed to learn about and Allah allowed to discover and to study with the human being, with the earth, that they did and they practiced, that you may call what? Sihr. How does a magnet, or how does a compass work? What is moving the needle? They say it's the what?
Some magnet.
Nah, it's not say some. They clearly scientifically explain it. But to another man, he says that the compass is what? Clear sihr. What do you mean? What magnetic field? What are you talking about? Everybody understand this? So we have to be very careful when we say something is haram and something is sihr. If someone has on a type of bracelet, they say, oh, that's sihr. Oh, that's tamima, and that's this and that's that. Everybody understand this? Another man may say, well, it's made from this, it's made from copper, it's made from kether. The earth has natural things in it, so on and so on and so forth. So we have to be very, very, very careful when we say something that's haram and something that's sihr. What's important is the reality of the concept. If it's based off of something of spiritual, spirit world, supernatural type of thing, then that's one ruling. If it's something that is tangible, something that can be scientifically laid down, whether everyone agrees on it or not, then that's what? That's something different. And just because you're not willing or you're not capable of devoting yourself to a way and a practice doesn't mean that the next person is practicing sihr. To some scholars of hadith, you may say that it's sihr. How can a scholar of hadith memorize this entire book by heart? Look how thick this book is. You know how thin these pages are? You know how many pages in this book? And he's memorized every single line. And this is only 6 books of hadith. It's not Musnad Imam Ahmad, Muwatta Malik, Musnad al-Darimi. This is just Kutub al-Sitta. And this alim in Timbuktu or in New Delhi or in Karachi or wherever he is has done what? By heart. And he can quote it just like that. How can he do this? Except that how he lives is not like how you live. He doesn't eat the foods that you eat. He doesn't drink the things that you drink. He doesn't sleep how you sleep. He doesn't have pictures and images and sounds and cars and trains and things that weaken and confuse the memory like he does. Let alone he is studying for 14 hours out of the day. You know how long that is? He's memorizing for 10 hours out of the day. He's making review for 10 hours out of the day. How many hours do you read? How many hours do you study? How many hours do you sit down with Kutub al-Sitta? So it's unfair for you to try to tap into his world of memory unless you're willing to do what he does. And there may be other practices in which the people devote themselves to that art. They may devote themselves to that type of medicine and they've discovered things and Allah has given them the ability to do things that those who aren't willing have no clue about. And it's unright, it's unfair for you to say that it's what? Sihr. Everybody understand this? Of course it's sihr to you, but it's not necessarily sihr to him because he's studying for what? 14 hours, 20 hours out of the day, reading. So to him it's just hard work. And to you it's sihr. And the same applies to those who designed this iPad. To you it's sihr, but to him it's years of blood, sweat, and tears, developing, programming, research, millions and millions of dollars being spent behind this product being finished. So that's my opinion on chi. Wallahu a'lam.